to choose the venue for your Indian wedding in Italy remotely. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Svetlana from Best Indian Weddings Italy, the first and only wedding planning agency in Italy specialized in Indian weddings. Every day I help Indian brides and grooms-to-be realize their authentic Indian celebrations in the most beautiful country in the world. I'm running this series of videos called SOS Indian Weddings in Italy with useful tips and advice that you won't find anywhere else. So, if you are looking to host your Indian wedding in Italy, then please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to always keep updated with the new videos every week. The topic of this week is how to choose the venue for your Indian wedding in Italy remotely. I know this is a very hot topic now during the pandemic still going on, when it's quite hard to travel abroad because of the quarantine and other restrictions, and many couples still don't know what to do to not give up their dream of getting married in Italy, neither to postpone it again and again. They think that if they don't come to Italy and don't see their venue in person, then they can't go ahead and confirm, and then remain stuck with their planning, frustrated because of their guests constantly asking them about their wedding plans. So, if you feel like this too, then watch the video until the end because I have some very useful advice for you. First of all, I want to debunk the conviction that it isn't possible to choose a wedding venue from a distance. Not all the couples can come to Italy and see their venue in person. Actually, many couples make their choice from home, based on the venue's website, on the pictures that the wedding planner can send them, and maybe see their venue in person only at their wedding. That's especially common for couples living far away from Italy, such as in America, Canada, Australia, and so on. But even couples living in the UK or Europe are not always able to come to Italy for the venue's viewings. Actually, we had couples choosing their venues without having seen it in person way before COVID. And all of them confirmed after that they made the right choice. Maybe you have a strict working schedule and can't get the days off from work while the venue asks for an urgent confirmation. Or maybe you just don't want to spend extra money on this trip, especially if you live far away from Italy. So this COVID situation is just one of the reasons that a couple may face a new one, but not the only one. And there were and will always be couples who choose their venues remotely anyway. The main point is not if it's possible or not, but how do you approach the choice of your wedding venue? Because you could even come to Italy and not once but 2 or 3 times. You could see many venues and not find that one which is ideal for you and your wedding, where you have all the important aspects guaranteed and that also fits your budget. In my experience, I came in touch with couples who were struggling to find the perfect venue for their wedding, even by coming to Italy and by spending weeks in doing viewings. So, coming to Italy doesn't guarantee that you will find the perfect venue if you haven't followed the right steps in the choice of the potential venues, if you haven't checked those crucial aspects which are important for an Indian wedding. Actually, all this work done previously is the most important part of the planning, because the right venue can truly make the fate of your wedding. And it's what we do for our couples when we start working with them. The venue scouting is the first part of our planning services. When we go through dozens of potential venues, when we check if they can work for the couple we are committed with and if they correspond to the given criteria. Actually, this service can also be purchased separately. So if you are interested in, there is the link in the description. But let's say you're doing this work on your own and obviously you don't want to make the wrong choice. Here is crucial that you don't just look at beautiful pictures and select the stunning venues that are popular on Instagram and maybe receive their standard proposals and come to Italy to visit those venues, but that you go through different logistical and pricing aspects before even deciding if that venue is worth being on your list of potential wedding venues or not. So my first advice to you is to make the list of your events and to write beside each event what do you need for it in terms of the spaces, setup, timing, if there is a connected food function, the no need of a separated space for that, or if it does need a separated space. For example, wedding lunch coming immediately after the wedding ceremony, so 2 different spaces to use almost at the same time. Then don't forget that you need to check the Plan B options because no one knows how will be the weather, so that also must be verified. And of course, knowing the number of your guests is essential in the choice of the wedding venue. So decide on a realistic one and put it in your sheet. And then your budget, of course. You must decide on the budget before even looking at any venue. I always say, no budget, no planning. And it's so true, believe me. After this first work is done, the second thing to do is to put together the list of your priorities. For example, Indian food. How it is important for you to have Indian food at your wedding. If you want full Indian food or just some dishes for some events, or if you are fine with Italian food. Then if you want the venue with accommodation or without, or maybe just for the closest family, but then need a place where your guests can easily find accommodation for themselves. Or the music, for example, if you absolutely want to party until late, or if you would be fine with ending your reception by midnight. And of course, the style of the venue is important, if classical Italian, modern, or rustic, for example. So after that, you should have a sort of chart with all your events listed, with characteristics and requests for all of them. Keep it aside because that will be your first inquiry with the venues you will select, so that they can give you a personalized answer and quote based on your specific needs, instead of sending you generic answers which could give you false expectations. And now you have to decide where in Italy you can start looking at venues. Italy is a varied country with many different landscapes changing from north to south, and it would truly be time-consuming going through the whole country on the hunt of your perfect venue. So my advice to you is to decide on the backdrop you would like to have at your wedding. If sea, lake, mountains, vineyards, countryside, and then look at the map of Italy and circle those areas where you can have your favorite backdrop, so that you could narrow down the list of potential locations to consider. And if you want some practical help with that, you can download our Location Navigator tool totally for free. There is a link in the description. So, as you can see, there is a lot of work to do and things to decide before even starting to look at any venue. And only after it's done and you have found out the Italian locations to explore, you can start looking at venues in those areas by checking if they have the spaces you need and if they correspond to your criteria. This first selection is made online, of course, and it's usually possible to understand from the websites the spaces they have, both indoors and outdoors, the views and the style. The second part will be done via email instead, and it's here that you will use your chart to send a very detailed request to a venue to understand if it can work for your wedding or not, and if it fits in your budget or not. After you have gone through the answers you receive from the venues and verify if they replied in full to all of your questions, you should be able to make a further selection and keep only those venues that are truly suitable for your event. The next step to do is to set the video call with the chosen venues so that you can see with your eyes how those venues really look. The video call is extremely important, and it's crucial that you prepare for it as well. You're not at the cinema, you have to choose your wedding venue. So open your eyes and attentively look at any spaces they will show you and take notes. I suggest you put together the list of the aspects to verify during the video call so that you can check everything in real time. And lastly, ask the venue manager to show you the spaces exactly in the order you will access them, so that you can get a clear picture in your mind on how your event could unfold in that venue. The choice of the venue is pivotal, and especially in case of Indian weddings, there are so many important aspects to check to make sure that you don't go wrong with your choice. Because not all Italian venues work for an Indian wedding. If you want practical help and a tool that can be a valid support in this important part of your planning, we have an extremely useful guide created specifically for this purpose. It's called How to Choose Your Wedding Venue in Italy from the Comfort and Security of Your Home Without Risking a Scam, and you can purchase it for a very small fee, really. There is a link for it in the description, and this guide can truly save you from making wrong choices and getting scammed, believe me. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video that I hope can truly help you with planning your amazing Indian wedding in Italy. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my channel, follow Best Indian Weddings Italy on Facebook and Instagram, comment in the post, and I will be happy to answer. See you next week!